Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to Eli Talks Football and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing all right. I hope you guys had a good week, especially if your team played in Europe. If your team got the win, congratulations. If your team bottled it, then yeah, you are bottlers in it. Yeah, I don't think, I don't think any of the big six clubs lost in Europe, but Man City bottlers 3-0 up, and then it's 3-3. And they have a big game on Sunday away to Liverpool, Anfield. So if Man City lose this game, then I feel like the title race could be over for them. But we have seen this happen so many times, and Man City's going on a good winning form. So to me, Man City need to sort it out, but we'll get to that one in just a minute. Because Liverpool have finally beaten Real Madrid for the first time in 15 years, so congratulations to them. Arsenal went away to Sporting, a team that hasn't been beaten this season. They went away to them and they put in a five-star performance. They absolutely destroyed them away from home, so fair play to Arsenal. Aston Villa could have won the game at the end against Juventus, but didn't happen. So they're not on a good form at the moment. 0 wins in 7, and my team faced them this Sunday. Man United finally have won a game in Europe. Or is it Ruud van Nistelrooy done it? I can't remember. But yeah, Man United face Bodo Glimt, which are a very difficult team, but they managed to get the job done 3-2. Højlund scored 2 goals, so Wilbraham his first win as a manager, so fair play to him. Of course, Man United have got who have they got? If I can see it on the screen, Man United, I believe they've got Everton. Yeah, they do at home, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, Wilbraham his first win as a head coach, and Tottenham yesterday. If they had those chances, they could have won this game. But Roma scored late. Makes it 2-2. So another game, Tottenham have dropped points in the Europa League, so no wins in two. So that's a concern. But I feel like Tottenham will still be in the knockout phases, despite them not having 2 wins without a win in Europa League. So there we go. But yeah, that's all Europe done. Now let's focus on the Premier League. So before I get things started, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, make sure you follow me on socials. The link is in the description below. Make sure you guys share this video to all your friends and family. If they're interested in football content, and make sure you hit the bell notification as well, so they never ever miss one of my videos or any live streams that I do during football. So there we go. So yeah, man, game week 13, big game on Sunday at Anfield, because the times have changed on Sunday. Instead of being 4:30, it changed it to 4 o'clock. I'm not quite sure why, but that's the time it's changed. So a bit of early kickoff on Sunday, but Saturday's games and Monday, Friday night still the same. So of course on Saturday there's no lunchtime kickoff because there's a Friday night in the Premier League, which is today. So that's why there's no early kickoff. But let's just quickly start my predictions before I make this video a bit too long. So without further ado, let's go. Oh, excuse me. All right, so the first game of game week number 13 is at the Amex Stadium, and you can probably call this one the South Coast Derby because that's where both teams are in the UK. Brighton is in South Coast, and also Southampton as well. So you can probably call this the South Coast Derby. So there we go. So Brighton versus Southampton at the Amex Stadium. 8 o'clock p.m. kicking off later on tonight. And you could probably tell that Brighton are in a good position because they're in 5th place, and they're 1 point behind Man City. So if they win their game tonight, they'll be above City, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Of course, they have some games to play as well. But but for Southampton, they need to win because they've only had 1 win, in 12 games, and that only win was at home against Everton. In the game against Liverpool, they could have had a really good chance of beating them, but unfortunately they end up boiling it. You're 2-1 up, and then you just throw it away at 3-2, letting Mo Salah scoring 2 goals. So yeah, to me, I feel like Southampton are gonna get relegated. They really are. They're just no good team at the moment. They really aren't. So yeah, man, I'll get to that prediction just a moment, but let me just read out the stats for this game. What's this? It, it looks like the time. It looks like the stats for this one is not happening. Huh? Weird. What's going on with Google? Okay. That means I need to get a Google translator to do this. I do forgive me, guys. I don't know what is going on. Let me just quickly do Google Translate because I'm not sure what's happening to that stat. Give me just a sec. Right, let me just quickly get it up. Oh, it won't do it. Oh well, I can't read out the stats because Google just did it in a different language, so you're gonna have to forgive me. But other than that, listen, I I listen. So I'm just gonna get to the prediction straight away. So for this game, I'm gonna go for Brighton win of. I think Brighton are gonna win this game. I'm gonna go 3-1 to Brighton. I'm gonna go 3-1 um because Brighton just managed to beat Bournemouth in the South Coast, 2-1, when they went down to 10 men. So yeah, and like I said, if Brighton win tonight, they'll go above Chelsea, Arsenal, and City, and they'll be in second, you know. Listen, I don't think Brighton I listen, do I think Brighton are going to be in the title race this season? I don't think so. But imagine if they can do a Leicester, that would be crazy. But it's not going to happen. It really isn't. But yeah, just Brighton 3-1. Goals scorers. I'm going to go for Matoma, Evan Ferguson, Danny Welbeck for Southampton. I'm going to go the goal scorer. I'm not quite sure who. Maybe Carl Peters or something like that. But yeah, 3-1 Brighton, man. Southampton are just dead food. They were 2-1 up against Liverpool, but they end up just wasting it, and losing that game 3-2. So yeah, so just relegate Southampton if you have to. But you know, I know the season's not over yet, but for me, Brighton are get to relegated. They really are. So yeah. So unfortunately, So one, two. There's only 9 games. Hmm. Interesting. There's only 9 games in the Premier League this weekend. Let me figure out which team isn't playing. 1 minute. Let me see. Right, Southampton, Palace, Town. Oh, Ipswich Town. It looks like they're not having. Oh, it's so. Why is it? So why is it only showing 9 games? What is going on? Sorry, guys. But Ipswich Town have got Nottingham Forest. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Anyway, let me not waste any more time. Let me not waste any more time. But yeah, 3-1 to Brighton is going to be my prediction. Do forgive me, guys. All right, the next one is Brentford versus Leicester City. And by the way, like I said last week, Steve Cooper is sacked, and the breaking news is that Ruud van Nistelrooy is a head coach. So, if you're a Leicester City fan, you must be a bit happy, to see Ruud van Nistelrooy being the head coach because he was the interim manager for Man United. 4 games, 3 wins, 1 draw. So let's say Ruud van Nistelrooy can make Leicester City better than Steve Cooper. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, man, looking forward to this one. Here's the stats. Brentford have won none of their 4 Premier League meetings with Leicester, drawing 2 and losing 2, only facing Newcastle 6 times more often in the competition without ever winning. Leicester unbeaten in the last 8 games against Brentford, winning 5, drawing 3, since that 3-2 loss in the second tier in March 1953. Boy, a long time ago, you know. Leicester have won just one of their last 30 Premier League away games against London sides, drawing 3 and losing 9, shipping more than 2 goals on each of their last top 5 visits to the capital. Brentford have won more points, home points, and scored more home goals than the other side in the Premier League this season. They've won 5 of their last 6 at the GW13 Community Stadium and are looking to win 4 in a row at home for the first air time in the Premier League. And finally, Brentford's last 3 home games have seen them winning 5-3 against Wolves, 4-3 against Ipswich, and 3-2 against Bournemouth, which I correctly predicted. The Bees have scored more than 3 goals in 4 consecutive home games in April or May 1984, whilst the last team to win 4 straight top flight home games while conceding more than 2 goals each time were Leicester in October 1964. So 60 years ago that this happened. But listen, there is no Steve Cooper, there's Ruud van Nistelrooy. And there's a new manager bounce as well. So for me, do I think, for me, my head is thinking Brentford are going to win, but Ruud van Nistelrooy did really good under Manchester United. So for the very first time, I'm going to go a game where Brentford don't win at home this season. I feel like that streak is going to be over because, like I said, Ruud van Nistelrooy, I'm not sure how good he can do for Leicester City players like Jamie Vardy, in DD, especially Faze, the way he just, shocking defended against Nicholas Jackson. But he's a good manager, So for me, for the very first time, I'm going to go for Leicester City win of 2-1, because listen, G2K Stadium is not going to be that easy, don't get me wrong, but Leicester City have sacked Steve Cooper and decided Ruud van Nistelrooy, and you know what happens when there's a new manager bounce. Sometimes they lose games, but most of the time they can either get like a draw or win. And I think Ruud van Nistelrooy can do that, It's because, like I said, before he left Man United, 3 wins, 1 draw in the last 4 in all competitions. So he's done a fantastic job. So let's see how he can do for Leicester City. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 to Leicester. The goals, I'm going to go for Jamie Vardy, maybe in Woodford indeed. For Brentford, I'm going to go for Bremu. Yeah, I just feel like, Brentford, listen, if they still win this game, then fair enough. But Leicester City have a new manager, so let's see how Brentford can cope, without Steve Cooper being sacked last weekend. So there we go. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 to Leicester City for that game tomorrow. So yeah, 2-1 to Leicester City. All right, so the next game is Crystal Palace versus Newcastle United, of course. Both teams have lost, last weekend, especially Newcastle. I didn't expect West Ham to go out there and beat them, but they did. They've won, kept a clean sheet, and man, didn't expect that to happen. But here comes the sacks anyway. Palace have won this exact fixture 2-0 in April, but that was the time, where Crystal Palace, did really good on their new manager, but unfortunately this season still only had 1 winning trophy, and that's not good enough. Last winning consecutive leagues with Newcastle was between 1971 and 1972, but they did it 3 times. After winning their first 4 Premier League away games against Crystal Palace, Newcastle won just 1 of the last 9 visits to Selhurst Park in the competition. Newcastle kept 14 clean sheets in their last 26 Premier League games against Crystal Palace. Only Aston Villa and Arsenal have recorded more in the competition, whilst the highest percentage of clean sheets against any side they face more than 20 times, which is 54%. Having been unbeaten in 8 Premier League away games against London sides between October 2022 and October 2023, Newcastle now lost 6 of their last 8 visits to the capital, shipping at least 2 goals in 7 of those games. And finally, just 3 of Crystal Palace's 10 Premier League goals this season have been scored in home games, both a league low total and the percentage 30 in the division so far. So you can see that these stats don't clearly don't work for Crystal Palace. So yeah, man, listen, look at the table right now. Sorry, yeah, looking at the table, if I can get it out. Um, every time this internet always does this. Yeah, looking at the table right now, Newcastle are in 10th because they've lost against West Ham. For Palace, they're in 19th. So Palace need to win this game, you know. And if they do, and likes of Ipswich Town, Wolves, and Leicester City drop points, they'll be out of the relegation zone. But listen, Newcastle lost at West Ham, you know. So the question is, will they manage to bounce back after that defeat? We're gonna have to wait and see. But I mean, Palace have drawn their lot. You know, Palace have drawn a couple of games. I mean, I'm looking at this year. In the last 4 games, Palace have one win, 2 draws, and 1 defeat. So going into this game, I feel like this might be a draw, at least because it's at Selhurst Park. So yeah, for this game tomorrow, I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go for 2-2 for this one because I feel like Newcastle will be 2-0 up, but then Crystal Palace will just find some way of making a comeback and getting a point. But like I said, if they win this game, they're out of the relegation zone. So it's a must-win game for both teams, but especially for Palace if they want to stay up. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw. Desmond one. Goals for Newcastle, Isak and Anthony Gordon. For Palace, I'm gonna go for Mbremu and Eze to score. So yeah, 2-2. You know, like going to Selhurst Park ain't that easy, but I just if Newcastle didn't drop points against West Ham, maybe I would have gone for them to win. But it's at Selhurst Park, and Palace, in the last 4 games, have only had one loss, so they're in a good one of form just at the moment. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for 2-2 draw in that game on Saturday. So there we go. All right, the next one is interesting. Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich Town. I have to tell you, Nottingham Forest have lost 2 games in the Premier League. One against Newcastle and last weekend against Arsenal away from home. Whereas so Ipswich Town, the couple of games, I believe they've drawn one, they've beaten Tottenham, and they drew against Manchester United. So Ipswich, like Forest, in a couple of games have been a bit down. Forest, they have been a bit up. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting game indeed. So there we go. If I could just get it up, yeah. Here comes the stats. Forest have lost just one of their 6 league meetings with Ipswich, with their first between the sides since that 1-1 draw in March 2019. Ipswich are winless in their last 14 Premier League away games against Nottingham Forest, with their lot such victory coming in December 1919, 1-0 thanks to Mike Toyland's goal. I wasn't born in that time. Forest and Ipswich have met each other 4 times in the Premier League. Ipswich won both meetings in 1993 as Forest were relegated, while Forest won both games in 1995 with the Tractor Boys going down. So, boy, that is interesting. Nottingham Forest unbeaten in the last 8 Premier League games against promotive sides, winning the last 4 in a row. Forest have failed to win any of the previous 15 such games before this one. And finally, having lost just one of their first 10 Premier League games this season, Nottingham Forest have now both lost their last 2. They've conceded 3 goals in these defeats. And like I said, 3-1 against Newcastle and 3-0 against Arsenal. As many times they conceded more than 3 goals in the previous 22 league games combined. Now listen, do I think Nottingham Forest are going to concede 3 goals against Ipswich Town? No. But listen, like I said, let me just see if I read it right. So, yeah, looking there in the last 3 games, they've drawn twice and they've beaten Tottenham. So, Ipswich Town on a good run of form. They're on the same points as Wolves, by the way. So, if Ipswich Town gets another point and And if, let's say, like the likes of Wolves lose their game, Ipswich Town will be out of the relegation zone. So the battle for survival is still happening because teams like Everton, Leicester City, Wolves, Ipswich Town, and Palace could be in the bottom if they don't win those games. So yeah, so for listen, Ipswich Town a good one of form, not so Forest, not so much. But I have to say, Forest do beat Ipswich Town. They'll be on the same points as Arsenal, Brighton, depending on the game tonight, and Chelsea as well. So let's see if Forest can bounce back. But the last game at the City ground, Newcastle beat them 3-1. So for this game, I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw. I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw. I'm gonna go for it, for this game to be a draw. Even though I do think that Forest are going to win, like I said, Ipswich Town are on a good run of form, so I'm gonna go for 1-1. Goals go for Forest. I'm going to go for Callum Hudson-Odoi. For Ipswich Town, I'm going to go for the lap because, he may not score against Man United, but he's in a good one of form. So, yeah, I'm going to go for a Forest 1-1 draw against Ipswich Town. So, imagine if Forest can, like, Forest cannot keep on dropping points if they want to be in a good position. They just can't. But I feel like they will do, but I don't think they'll lose. They in the last two games. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw for Forest against Ipswich Town. So there we go. All right. So the next one is Wolves versus Bournemouth. Of course, Bournemouth have lost their home game against Brighton. For Wolves, they went away to Fulham and beat them 2-1. So looking at the stats here, Bournemouth are in a good run of form. In the last four games, they've drawn two and they've won two, and they're in 17th place for now. And if they win, and if Everton and Leicester City and the rest of the teams lose, they'll be climbing even further up the table. So this one is going to be interesting. So yeah. Anyway, the stats. Wolves have lost two of the last three Premier League meetings with Bournemouth, having been unbeaten in the first five against them. All four Premier League meetings between Wolves and Bournemouth at Money have been 1-0. Wolves won their first two 2-0 and 1-0 respectively, while the Cherries have won 1-0 in the last two visits. Wolves have won their last two Premier League games, as many as they had previous 22 combined. Their last won three in a row in December 2023. I think one of those was against Chelsea last season. Wolves have scored in their last 11 Premier League games. The joint ongoing of any side in the competition. They've netted at least twice in their last four, last netting multiple goals in consecutive top flight meetings between May and August 2011, which was 5 times. Having won four consecutive Premier League away games in November or December last season, Bournemouth have won just 3 of the last 16 on the road. One of those was against Wolves in April, however. So, yeah, so those are the stats. Um, Now this one, I let me check Bournemouth's last couple of games because I know they've lost against what was it against Brighton, but they could have got an equalizer for that one. Bournemouth, they've lost their last two. Boy, they've lost their last two games. So Bournemouth are in 13th place, so they're not in good form at the moment. So boy, last two games they've lost, and Wolves have won their last two. So, listen, I feel like Wolves are going to win this game, but I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet because Wolves are going to score. So yeah, I'm gonna for this game, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Bournemouth win. I'm gonna go 2-1. To Wolves because they went away against Fulham and beat them 3-1 when Fulham were down to 10 men. So and also they beat Southampton as well 2-1. When this game was at Monaco. So yeah, Bournemouth they've lost their last two. I've forgotten the other game they've lost to. Oh yeah, Brentford, and I believe the next one after that was Brighton. So yeah, 2-1. So yeah, I feel like since Wolves are starting to come are in a good form and Bournemouth not so much. I think Wolves are going to win this game 2-1, you know. But I will not be surprised if it's a clean sheet because, like you heard me say in the the stats, every time these two meet, it's wins for Wolves 1-0, same goes for Bournemouth, the last such win as well. So yeah, but I don't think both teams are going to keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to go 2-1. Goal scorers, I'm going to go for Cunha to score twice for Bournemouth. I'm going to go for Jess Spinning to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Wolves is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. And then on Saturday Night Football, we have got the London Derby at the London Stadium. West Ham United versus Arsenal. And we all know what happened when these two met last season at the London Stadium. But I'm going to read out the stats. West Ham have lost more Premier League games overall and at home against Arsenal than they have versus any opponent in the competition. Arsenal lost just one of the last 60 Premier League away games against West Ham, winning this fixture 6-0 last season. Of course, Arsenal 4-0 up and then it was 6-0 at the end. West Ham have lost their last two home London derbies in the Premier League, going 2-0, going down 2-0 against Fulham and 3-0 against Chelsea. They last lost 3-0 in December 2019, whilst they last did so without scoring in December 2008. Both ones included the defeat to Arsenal. Since the start of 2022/23, Arsenal have lost just two of the last 26 London derbies matches in the Premier League. One of those was against West Ham, 2-0 last season, and also another one was against Fulham, away when it was 2-1, which what one of these was which was the only one of the 26 games in which they failed to score 2-0 in 2023. So yeah, it's only last season where Arsenal lost 2-0 against West Ham at the Emirates Stadium, and then there was 2-1 against Fulham, last season at Craven Cottage. So there we go. And finally, West Ham have earned 7 points from their last 3 Premier League home games, as many as they had from their previous 9 at the London Stadium. So there we go. But listen, Arsenal are in a good run of form, because since Odegaard has come back, they've drawn against Chelsea, they've beaten Nottingham Forest, and they've absolutely destroyed, Sporting Lisbon by 5-1. So, yeah, Arsenal, are starting to build the momentum, and I keep on saying it. I don't think Arsenal are out of the title race because Odegaard, is still not in that squad. But ever since he come in, he has been really good consistently every single game. Declan Rice put in a really good performance against Sporting. Saka scored, Havertz scored, like it was a brilliant performance. Dawidwa makes some saves. Gabriel and Saliba locked up Victor Coquelin. So for those people that say Arsenal out of the title race and the top 4 race, I feel like you owe them an apology. But listen, going into this game, I don't think Arsenal are gonna put in 6 goals the way they did last season at the London Stadium. But I feel like they're gonna win this game, because I would have thought that Forest is gonna make it difficult for Arsenal, but they didn't. They didn't score. They conceded 3 goals and they've lost. So there you go. But West Ham, like I said, that let's see if that win against Newcastle away is going to give them confidence going into this game tomorrow night at the London Stadium. So yeah, but for me, also winning this game, and I feel like they're going to keep a clean sheet. So for this game tomorrow, I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal. They're going to keep another clean sheet. They're going to score another 3 goals, and they're going to beat West Ham at the London Stadium once again. So yeah, 3-0 to Arsenal. The goal scorers, I'm going to go for Saka to score, Kai Havertz to score, and Martinelli to score. So basically, Arsenal's front 3 to score against West Ham. So yeah, 3-0 Arsenal is going to be my prediction. Another 3-0, another win, and another clean sheet. And yeah, I mean, if West Ham, you know, get something out of this game, maybe a point or a draw, I will not be surprised, but I'll be a bit, because also if the favourites went into this game of the day and went away to Sport in Portugal and destroyed Sporting Lisbon by 5-1. So yeah, 3-0 to Arsenal. and that's going to be the goals goes for that game tomorrow. So there we go. All right, the next one is Super Sunday, and I'm not going to talk about this too much because I am going to do a preview tomorrow for the Aston Villa game, so make sure you guys check that out. But yeah, in terms of Chelsea, we've just managed to beat Leicester City 2-1, at the London Stadium. I mean, sorry, King Power Stadium. Yesterday we managed to beat Heidenheim by 2 goals to nil. And yeah, like I said yesterday, Madueke dropped start Sancho, if and I'm hoping Neto is back for this game. I really hope so because we definitely do need him. And like I said as well, Sanchez drop, Jorgensen to start, but I just don't see that happening. But listen, Aston Villa are a tough team. They really are. And also, listen, in the last 7 games, they may have no wins, but if they do beat Chelsea, they'll be on the same points as Arsenal, Brighton and Chelsea. So they're not out of the top four ways just yet. But listen, we need to get revenge on them because last season we lost to them 1-0. Gusto had the red card. We had so many opportunities to win that game. I remember Sterling, did this, what he did against Wolves was doing the same thing. Like he had so many options, but instead he just shoots. So thank goodness it's not in that squad. So yeah, we need to win this game. It's not going to be easy, but I feel like we need to win and we need to improve our home form because we drew against Crystal Palace, we drew against Arsenal, we drew against Nottingham Forest. Our away record this season is better than our home record, which is weird because usually our home record is way better than our away record. So we just need to improve our home record this season. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea because, like I said, it's not going to be easy. If Sanchez is in goal, then I feel like we're just going to concede. Jorgensen, I feel like we are going to concede, but if he does start, I don't think he's not going to do what Sanchez did because yesterday, like I said, he was my man of the match. Making save after save after save and keeping a clean sheet as well. But I have doubts that Madueke, but I just know in my head that Madueke is going to start and Sanchez is going to start as well. So that's why I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. Goal score for Villa, Ollie Watkins. For Chelsea, I'm going to go for Nicholas Jackson and Palmer to score as well. So yeah, 2-1 Chelsea. It's going to be my prediction for that game on Sunday. All right, so the next one is Man United versus Everton, and this is Ruben Amorim's first ever Premier League game at Old Trafford. Of course, yesterday was his first ever game at Old Trafford, but that's in Europa League. This time is in the Premier League, so this will be his first time. Of course, his last game was a draw against Ipswich Town, but they're at home against Everton, who, by the way, are not in a good run of form. You know, only they've lost in the last 4 games. They have no wins, losing one and drawing 3 times. So there you go. But yeah, I've got some stats for that game tomorrow on Sunday. Man United have won their last 4 Premier League games against Everton. Last having such longer one between December 1999 and February 2004, which was 9 times. Everton have won just one of their last 31 Premier League away games against Manchester United, picking up that 1-0 victory in December 2013. So Everton are becoming like us, 11 years since the last win at Old Trafford. Manchester United have won 41 Premier League games against Everton, more than any side has beaten another in the competition's history. Boy, Man United love to play against Everton, I tell you that for sure. No side's Premier League games have been fewer goals scored this season than Manchester United, which is 26. Only Southampton, Palace and Everton have netted fewer goals than the Red Devils, while only Liverpool and also have conceded fewer, which is 13 times. And finally, both Everton's last 2 Premier League games have finished 0-0. Only once in the league history had they had 3 consecutive goalless draws, doing so in February 1982. So as you can see, 0-0 in let me check Everton's last game. So yeah, 0-0 between at home against Brentford and 0-0 away to West Ham. So Listen, in that West Ham game, Jordan Pickford made the big saves and keep the clean sheet. So the question is, would he do the same thing against Man United? Because he's going to be a very basic goalkeeper going into this game. So there we go. But for me, Man United, managed to beat Bodo Glimt aside is difficult, but they managed to beat them 3-2. So, surely, Ruben Amorim cannot keep dropping points here against, in the Premier League because they did so against Ipswich Town, you know, where they're 1-0 up, but surely Man United have got to win this game. And I feel like they will do. Um, yeah, I don't see Everton scoring this game. So for this game on Sunday, I'm going to go for Man United win of 3-0, because, yesterday Hoyland scored 2 goals, man of the match performance, Garnacho scored as well. So to me, going into this game, I feel like Holland is gonna score 2 goals, and I think Ahmad Diallo is gonna score as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0 to Man United. Everton. I failed to score in the last 2 games. I thought that they'll be Brentford at home, but they didn't. They just only managed to they just wasted their chances, but they did manage to keep a clean sheet. Fair play to them, but I don't see Everton scoring in this game, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0 to Man United. Holland to score twice and Amadi Diallo to score as Amadi Diallo to score as well. So yeah, 3-0 to Manchester United. Right, the next one is another London derby, and that is Tottenham versus Fulham at the London, at White Hart Lane. So there we go. Now here comes the stats for this one. Tottenham have just Tottenham have lost just one of their last 40 Premier League home games against Fulham since that 1-0 loss in March 2013. So over a decade ago that this happened. Fulham have won 3-0 against Spurs in the last Premier League meeting in March. I remember I watched that game. Ending a 9-game winless one against them. They lost one consecutive games against Spurs between August 2003 and October 2004, which is 3 times. Tottenham have lost 7 of their last 16 Premier League London derbies under Ange Postecoglou. Of managers to take charge of that, at least 10 such games for the club. Only Glenn Hoddle, 48%, has a higher loss rate than the Australian, which is 44%. Fulham are unbeaten in the last 7 Premier League London derbies, winning in the last 2 in a row in their top flight history. They've never gone 8 without defeat before, while only twice previously have they won 3 in a row. April to September 1960 and January to April 2013. And one of those was against Tottenham. And finally, Tottenham have alternated a victory 4 and a defeat 3 in the last Premier League matches, beating Man City 4 at the Etihad last time out. Now listen, if Tottenham lose this game, I will not be surprised because Tottenham are a weird team. They can win one game, they lose the other. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Like they beat Aston Villa 4-1 and they end up losing to Ipswich Town, you know. They beat Man City last week 4-0, but if they lose against Fulham, this is why they're a weak team. Win, lose, win, lose. I believe Tottenham have only drawn once this season. Yeah, they've only drawn once. Like, look at this: 12 games, 6 wins, 1 draw, and 5 defeats. I can't. Let me try. I'm not sure if I can remember the last. I'm not quite sure which team drew against Tottenham. I'm trying to remember. Um, Yeah, I can't remember which team drew against Tottenham, but yeah. But listen, but look at Fulham. If they beat Tottenham, they go above them, and Tottenham could potentially go from sixth all the way down potentially to um yeah, depending on the other results, Fulham can go from six all the way down to um 11th, if they don't win. So listen, you cannot beat Man City and end up losing against Fulham. You just can't. So going into this, so my prediction for this game, I'm gonna go for a Tottenham win of I'm gonna go 3-1 to Tottenham because Listen, when it comes to White Hart Lane, Tottenham always always seem to got to go down every single time. You know, every time they got to, every time it's at the White Hart Lane, they always got to go down. So I feel like it's going to happen again. I believe Fulham will score the goal first, but I think Tottenham will just have enough to beat Fulham. But can you imagine? Yeah, if Fulham do what Ipswich Town did, then boy, this why yeah I had Tottenham in like maybe fifth or sixth place and not in the top four because they're just a weird team. They really are. But yeah, 3-1 Tottenham's gonna be my prediction, because like I said, you cannot beat City and then not end up losing against Fulham. You just can't. So there we go. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Brennan Johnson, um, Kulusevski and Son to score. For Fulham, I'm just going to go for Alex Iwobi to score. So there you go. So yeah, 3-1 Tottenham's going to be my prediction. I'll not be surprised if Tottenham lose this game because like I said, they win one game, lose the other. They've only had one draw in between, and that's basically it. So there we go. But yeah, 2-3. But yeah, 3-1 Tottenham's going to be my prediction. Last and not least, we have got the big one. Liverpool versus Manchester City. And like I said, Liverpool, top of the Champions League, top of the league, and also 8 points clear of Manchester City. And if Liverpool beat Man City on Sunday, they will be 11 points above them, and you could probably say that the title race is over, but I've seen this before. But Man City, if they lose their next game, that'll be 4 Premier League games, without a win. That'll be 4 losses in a row, and I can't remember the last time that this happened on the Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. I just can't remember. But Man City aren't in a good one at the moment. No wins in six. They've lost 5 in a row, and that draw was against Fenyard. And like I said, they're 3-0 up, and they're the first team in the Champions League history to not win in that game, to bowl a 3-0 lead. So for me, Man City are in serious, serious trouble. And I have to tell you this year, I feel when I saw that interview, of Pep Guardiola, I was like, what is going on? It looks like this guy is stressed. You can see, marks on his board or just over there, and even on his nose as well. It just looks like he's been stressing and I don't know what's happening to him. I just hope he's okay. But you can tell by his mic, he just feels absolutely just stressful at the moment. And listen, Man City need to win this game if they have any chance of being back in the title race. Because like I said, if Man City lose and if Chelsea, Arsenal, and Brighton win their game, Man City will go from second to fifth, just like that. Because all of these three teams are on 22 points and they're 1 point behind Manchester City. And also, if Forest, and Tottenham win their game as well, they'll be 1 point behind Man City. So the pressure is on Man City and Pep Guardiola to win this game. They cannot not afford this. But listen, this game is at Anfield, and Man City don't have particularly good record there, which I'm about to read you just right about now. So Liverpool have won just one of their last 9 Premier League games against Manchester City, a 1-0 victory in October 2022. But boy, that is interesting. Man City have won just one of their last 21 Premier League away games against Liverpool. Their last win was in February 2021 when they beat them 4-1. But that was the time, with no fans. So you can see that Man City don't have a good record at Anfield at all. They've not won at Anfield with fans attendance since May 2003, which was 2-1. So you can see 20 years ago was the last time that Man City went to Anfield and won with fans in that stadium. So boy, the away side have won just 6 of their 54 Premier meetings between Liverpool and Man City. Their lowest percentage of any fixture to be played more than 30 times in the competition, which was 11%. So there you go. Man City have won 5 of the last 6 Premier League games against sides starting day top of the table. However, the last such defeat was 3-1 loss against Liverpool at Anfield in November 2019, with the Reds going on to lift in that title last season, but that was during COVID, by the way. And finally, Liverpool only Premier League defeat so far was that Nottingham Forest 1-0 at Anfield. They've won 7 of their last 8 Premier League games since then, drawing one, which was against Arsenal, scored at least twice in 7 of those games. So yeah, man, Liverpool on a good run of form. And it's their title to lose, by the way, because like I said, they're 8 points clear, and if they beat Manchester City, they'll be 11 points clear of them. And Man City potential title race could be over. It really could. So there we go. Listen, Liverpool need to beat, Man City need to win this game, because if they do, they'll be five, yeah, behind Liverpool, I believe. Yeah, 5 points by Liverpool, and the title race for them could be on. So the pressure is more on Man City than it is on Liverpool, because this is Slot's first season, and Pep Guardiola is aiming to win 5 Premier League titles in a row. And I don't think, like, he already broke the record, and I don't think any team will ever do a 5P just like Pep Guardiola did. So the pressure is on Manchester City. And like I said, if Man City lose this game, there'll be 4 Premier League games lost in a row. And I can't remember the last time that this happened. I'm gonna have to go on stat, after the game, and then maybe on Monday I'll give you guys the year that this happened. But honestly, Man City, they need to bounce back and they need to win. But in honest truth, they're not going to do that because it's at Anfield. Slot has finally had made Liverpool beat Real Madrid for the first time since 2009. They're top of the Champions League table. They're top of the league. So Liverpool are favourites going into this game. So Man City fans, I see you guys losing this game. I see you guys losing another game. So for this one, my prediction is 2-1 Liverpool. I was thinking of 3-1, but I thought to myself, now I don't think Man City, especially where are gonna concede 3 goals, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Liverpool are going to win this game 2-1. Mo Salah is going to turn up. Kyle Walker and their defense, the likes of Rico Lewis, John Stones and Kyle Walker, their defending is going to be absolutely shocking. I will not be surprised here if Liverpool can keep a clean sheet, because they have done so against Real Madrid, but against Southampton they conceded 2 goals. And let me look. Let me see. Let me see how many goals they've already conceded 8. So Liverpool just need to concede 7 more, and that yeah, Liverpool need to concede 7 more. Um, if Liverpool want to beat Chelsea's record, they need to make sure they don't concede 7 more goals because they're on 8. So if Liverpool concede more than 7 goals, that means they haven't beat Chelsea's record at all. So there you go. But I feel like Liverpool are going to concede once, but I feel like they will beat Manchester City. So that yeah, let me look at the stats. So yeah, 1-0 victory 2 years ago since the last beat Manchester City. But for me, that record will be over. So yeah, 2-1 Liverpool is going to be my prediction. Man City's goal scorer, maybe Erling Haaland. For Liverpool, I'm going to go for Mo Salah to score, and maybe Luis Diaz to score as well. So yeah, Luis Diaz to score and Mo Salah to score. So yeah, that's going to be my prediction, and that's going to be my predicted goal score. So yeah, 2-1 Liverpool. I just don't see Man City going to Anfield and getting a result there. You know, But listen, they have to win. They have to if they want to be back in the title race talk. So yeah, 2-1. But for me, it's at Anfield. 2-1 Liverpool. That's basically it. So there you go. All right, so that is my prediction. Let me go through them one more time. So later kickoff for today, I've gone for the Brighton to win on the South Coast Derby against Southampton 3-1. In the Saturday's games, I've gone for a Leicester City 2-1 win. New manager bounce. Ruud van Nistelrooy is there as the head coach. So 2-1 to Leicester City. They've gone for a 2-2 draw between Crystal Palace and Newcastle United. They've also gone for a draw between Forest and Ipswich Town in East Midlands. They've gone for Wolves 2-1 win against Bournemouth. Then London Derby Saturday Night Football, the big one at the London Stadium. I've gone for the Gunners to win 3-0 against the Hammers. Then Super Sunday, I've gone for a Chelsea 2-1 win against Villa. Man United to beat Everton 3-0. Tottenham to win the London Derby against Fulham 3-1. Like I said, I won't be surprised if Fulham can beat Tottenham because we have seen this before last season. And finally, the big one, Super Sunday at Anfield, I've gone for a Liverpool 2-1 win against Manchester City. So that is all my Premier predictions for game week number 13. Alright, so do let me know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree. Not all of them, but some of my predictions. And if you got your Premier predictions, do let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, if you think that what you make of that big game? Do you think Liverpool are going to win, or do you think Man City need to win this game if they want to be in the title race? Do let me know, and let me know your thoughts as well on the other game as well, which I predicted as well. So yeah, make sure you guys comment, and don't forget, if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the bell notification as well, because there's going to be a big game as well in terms of Bundesliga, the Klassiker. So I'm going to do a double watch along of Dortmund, Bayern Munich, and also West Ham United versus Arsenal. So you guys don't want to miss any of that one. So yeah, those are the games I will be doing tomorrow. Then the preview as well will be coming up, tomorrow, and I'll upload it before that game. And then on Sunday, live react, watch along, and match action for Chelsea vs Aston Villa. So it's going to be a very busy weekend, but I promise you that I won't miss any of them. So stay tuned for those ones. But yeah, man, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and good luck to all of your teams. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow for the live watch alongs, for the previews and all that stuff. So yeah, as always, big up themselves. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And as always, up the Chels. I'm out of here. Peace.
Audio